Good morning. So I just wanted to check in. I know it's been a while. We've been pretty busy. Um, we've been dealing with some stuff, some personal, really personal stuff, which I will share a little bit about because we are actually taking our road trip today. We're doing a Northern California road trip. We actually live in Southern California in the county of San Diego, and we're driving pretty much all the way about 3 hours from the Oregon border up to Humboldt County. We've done this drive plenty of times. My kid's father used to live there, so I would bring them to see him when he lived there, and we have some fun stops planned along the way. We're starting at the Madonna Inn in San Luis Obispo, and that is like one of my favorite places to stay. It's really cute and kitschy. I think this will be our fourth time staying there, and we pick a different room every time. So I'm just gonna bring you with me to check that out. And I might break this video up into a couple different parts because we have, like I said, some fun stops, some different places we'll be staying, so come along. All right, road trip check. We have been on the road for a little over 5 hours now, and we made it to the cute town of Solvang, which is north of Santa Barbara. Took us like 5 hours to get here, but we had a couple stops, and of course there was traffic in LA. But yeah, we're gonna go have some lunch and just walk around Solvang. It's been like a really long time since I've been here, and I don't think the kids have ever been here. So yeah, we'll just show you a little bit of Solvang, and then we'll be on our way to Madonna Inn. After another hour or so on the road, we finally made it to the Madonna Inn in San Luis Obispo. We love it here. It is the fourth time we've stayed here, I believe. All the rooms are themed differently in different decorations. We try to stay in a different room each time, but this is the outside. There's the Copper Cafe, a little outside area next to the registration. When we first got there, our room wasn't ready, but they said that we could just go to the pool, which we had planned on doing anyway, and that they would bring the keys to the pool bar. So this is a little pathway that heads over to the pool, and that's just one of the big buildings there. And here is the pool area. It was actually quite busy when we were there, just because it was a really sunny and beautiful day. They have a little waterfall and a gazebo. On the other side of this gazebo, there's a hot tub, one of the two jacuzzis that they have. And there's the pool. This time we stayed in the fleur-de-lis room. It was really pretty. I think the light fixtures were why I originally chose this. I just love those glass light fixtures, and the wall had, Parisian scenes. The art was beautiful. There's two beds, not really a separate bedroom. I mean, there is a separate bedroom, but it was more just like an added room with no door. But I forgot to get the bathroom. The bathroom was really beautiful too, as far as bathrooms go. But yeah, this was the second room. Like I said, there was no door there, but it was nice just to have that extra space. that night we went to the cute little downtown area of San Luis Obispo for some dinner, but we wanted to come back and walk around the grounds of the Madonna Inn just to show what's there. They do have a steakhouse, which that's it right there. I didn't want to get too close because there were people dining, but it's so beautiful and everything is pink, and there's a little fire outside with our fireplace. There's a bar area. We did more exploring in the morning after we had breakfast at the Copper Cafe, but I will show more of that in a little bit. Good morning. It's the next day. We spent last night at the Madonna Inn. Clearly we're still here. We just had breakfast at the Copper Cafe. This is the bar area. I tried to take some video last night, but there was a lot of people here. So right now we're about to check out and head to San Francisco. So I'll take you on the journey there. Okay, so we're here in San Francisco now, and we have already been to Haight-Ashbury and Golden Gate Park, drove around Still Lake, and checked into our hotel. We're staying at Fisherman's Wharf, and this is the view from our hotel, which I'm pretty stoked, because usually when I get a hotel, especially in the city, I usually get a view of like the backside of like a building or parking garage. And where is it? There's got Colt Tower over there. Can't really see. There we go. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. We're gonna go freshen up after our long drive and get some dinner soon. So that's all for now. The next morning, we were heading across the Golden Gate Bridge onto our drive into Northern California, all the way up to Humboldt County. And I think from like San Francisco to Oregon, this is probably my favorite drive. I love it. Just trees and rivers. And then we start to get into the redwoods. But this is such a beautiful drive, and I love making it. We did hit a bit of traffic, but it was like they had shut down the road for, it was just like a one-lane road, but it was surrounded by redwoods, so I guess you can't complain about that. As I said before, we've done this drive plenty of times before, and one of the reasons we wanted to do it this time, in addition to just, we love this road trip and we wanted to visit some of our friends and family, is because my kid's father, he passed away about 4 months ago, and we had already done a paddle out for him in the ocean. He loved to surf, but since he did live up in this area for quite a few years, we thought we would do a little ceremony for him with his ashes in the redwoods. So that's another reason we wanted to come this way. We ended up staying in a hotel in Eureka, but we also love to visit the neighboring town of Arcata. This is, where the Humboldt University is, and this little square here is like this little park, which is surrounded by, shops and restaurants and bars. It's just really fun. Has like a farmer's market on the weekend. And also a fun fact for my fellow witchy friends, this was where they filmed the movie The Love Witch, and that's Moonrise Herbs. It's a really cute store, but it's also, in the movie she takes her stuff to sell there. And then this is actually the house, which is I think it's a few blocks away from the square, but it's the actual Love Witch house. So I had to take a picture in front of that. On Friday night in Old Town Eureka, they have this I guess it's the Friday night market, and they sell, all these local artisans and vendors come together. And it was actually pretty crowded despite that it was slightly raining, but we wanted to meet up with some friends, and actually they're my kids' step family, but we wanted to walk around with them, and it was actually really fun. We were a little wet, but we had a great time otherwise. The next day was much sunnier, so we wanted to check out the Sequoia Park Zoo. I had never been there. I guess my kids went with their step family, when their dad was still there. They all went, and I had never been despite being to Eureka and actually living in Eureka for a little while. But I think this is fairly new. I actually lived in Eureka about, I think, like 20-something years ago. So I don't know when this was built. I think I asked, but I forgot already. Anyway, I mostly wanted to go because even though they have a few animals, I was really interested in this Redwood Skywalk. That just, it's these bridges and like suspension bridges that go through these tall redwood trees, and it just made me think of like Star Wars, and I'm half expecting to see some Ewoks, but it was so beautiful, and we just had such an amazing time. At one point, we even saw this bear. He was actually one of the zoo bears, but he had climbed up this tree. And so we just stood and watched while he climbed back down. It was really cute. If you look closely, you can see there. The next day, we headed back down south to go visit some friends in Santa Cruz, which I didn't really get any of that part, but our trip down south was beautiful, and we always stop at this little, I guess it's a little roadside attraction slash store called The Legend of Bigfoot, which is just so cute, and we pretty much stop there every time. This is on the 101 heading south towards San Francisco. There's some restrooms there. But overall, it was a great trip, and thank you for coming along.